G'day, welcome to today's episode where we'll be taking a look at an SD to SNES cart. Let's get stuck into it. We'll get started with a little unboxing and then we'll take a tour of the cart by taking it apart. Again, these units seem to be readily available, but the supply is inconsistent and it does take a long time to get to Australia. So all things weighed up, I suppose, I think it's totally worth the wait. So the idea of these products of micro SD to cart allows you to play ROMs with the original hardware. The benefit being, if we play on emulation, there's always differences in timing and the original hardware, even the controllers, but the video chips and the outputs, always better on original hardware. The interesting thing of taking a note of taking a tour of the inside of this cart is it's using the same chips as an SD to cart on the Master System that I took apart the other week. So interesting that it's using the same format, probably from the same designer and the same principles of loading everything. Just popping it back together now. One thing I noticed when I got this is I wasn't very happy with the label. I thought an 801 Pro was a little low, so I went ahead and printed these out. Now this will follow the same principle as I'll explain in another video about remaking labels if we need to. But on a home printer like mine, using sticky tape will protect the print, as I am on the sticker here. And it also makes for a really, really sharp, nice finish once it's stuck back to the cart. The trick is, of course, to be as accurate as possible and to print to the correct dimensions. I always do a few just to make sure if there's one or two that I didn't like, then I can pick the one that turned out best. But I think removing a newer label on a newer product is easier, but I'd use the exact same process or attempt this sort of process on an older cart. If the label were torn or water damaged, then you'd need to take a different approach. But the label came off quite easily with a little bit of heat. Yeah, all we need to do is remove the adhesive and just take your time. I want it to be absolutely perfect and clean so the new label can affix perfectly. One of the finishing touches on a reproduction label, the way that I'd cut it out before, is just to round the edges of the label. A little bit of patience, and same goes for sticking it down, really, is a little bit of patience to line up it exactly as you'd like. And I'll do the same on the other one that I got as well. Truth be told, I think I did a better job on the second one there of getting it perfectly center. So jumping into my capture card now, we'll just turn on this cart and jump straight into the game that I had loaded before. So the way that these carts work is I'll jump into a menu system. From the menu system, you can either play the game that you were playing, or you can choose another one from the SD card. For nostalgia's sake, we'll run through the menus on a few of these games. The difficulty, of course, is choosing which games to play, but we'll start with Mortal Kombat.
Liu Kang, choose your destiny.
Resetting the SNES now, we'll jump in and we'll look for another game to load. So many great titles released on the SNES, it really is a little difficult to pick, but this will hopefully give you an idea of some of the things that you could go back and play, even if you couldn't find the original cart. Now I've sped up the loading times here a little bit. That one actually took 26 seconds. does take longer on this cart than others. One cool thing, obviously save states and saving on games works as you'd expect in Hope, so if you're pouring some time into Zelda, then you'll be fine. Again, we'll restart and we'll have a look for another title to jump into. Let me know, what was your favourite title on the SNES when you remember playing it? Double Dragon, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, the list goes on and on. Ninja Turtles, obviously, really, really good. Just for a shout out to my brother, we'll load up Turrican. I've got an idea of which game to load up next. It's probably one of my favourites and probably holds a lot of nostalgia for most people, so we'll jump into it. Just because we're having so much fun, we'll load up one last game. I actually remember playing this more on the Mega Drive as my brother and I were Sega kids growing up. But fair to say that this one holds a lot of replayability and everyone can enjoy it now. One strange thing was that this took a lot longer to load for some reason. A full minute, actually. No idea why that is. It's not the file size of the ROM or anything, but there you go.
Monster Dad! He's on fire!
I hope you've enjoyed this look back on some classic games that you could be playing. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next episode.